Hello and welcome to another episode of MOPO where we discuss matters of personal opinion. It's all MOPO, and as part of our recommendations for the 31 Days of Halloween, we wanted to talk to you about the classic Universal monsters.
Right, like the original, like the iconic monsters, like
we're talking the 30s and 40s.
Like these monsters are still relevant today.
Oh, you see remakes almost every other year. Not so much of others, but I mean, it's definitely tightly woven into a lot of new movies today.
It's just not even as an influence, but standalone on their own.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't love Dracula? Who doesn't love Frankenstein? Who doesn't love the Wolfman and so on and so forth? Like, these are images that will stay with you forever. Like, Dracula is going to be forever. And it started with
Well, that's
Universal.
the idea.
Yeah, I guess.
As long as he's got blood. But yeah, Wolfman. Did you say Creature from the Black Lagoon?
No, I didn't mention him. But, I mean, we got a bunch that we could think of. I mean, and there are, once again, like with our slashers, there are other monsters, but we're trying to stay with more
Yeah,
like
there is some more obscure, less known, less popular. I mean, even, and at the top of the less popular, we would have, like, you know, Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera.
I mean, normally wouldn't consider that as part of Universal
I
monsters.
mean, honestly, just being an ugly motherfucker makes you a Universal monster?
Yeah,
apparently in his case.
Your ugliness turned you twisted and demented, and you became a monster of the human condition.
Essentially, I guess. But, I guess we'll start with Dracula.
Yeah, I would say.
I would think he's, like, probably the most famous of these monsters. Bela Lugosi, I believe.
I would get behind that.
You know, like, I want to suck your blood.
Yeah.
Count Chocula.
That is my dude right there.
Who does that? I mean, the Count from Sesame Street.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, Dracula's the man. For sure. I mean, and, I don't know, like, I guess for, like, if I were, like, a vampire, I would probably not drink the blood of too many dudes. So, like, that always creeped me out about, like, Dracula.
But you wouldn't, me? But see, you probably wouldn't want to be, like, drinking the blood of too many, like, really, like, dirty streetwalkers either.
I'm thinking Dracula Dave Roach would like women the same as alive at Dave Roach.
Yeah, but you know what, though? That's what makes you evil. Because now you're taking all these good women away out of the world.
No, I like them trashy. So I'll probably get, like, vampire AIDS or something.
So you're taking all these magnificent loose women off.
Right, because if they want to hook up with me, they got issues. But, single ladies.
Grim shot. Oh!
But no, like, he was always, like, a weird dude to me. Like, you gonna come bite my neck, homie? Like, for real? Like, you better go find some girl to bite up on or something.
Well, and is that the only way? I mean, they've changed it up lately. Like, that's the only way you can change somebody. Because before it would just be like, oh, they bit your neck, but they didn't really drink or feed.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of...
You just got, like, that virus.
Yeah, you got, like, the venom in you.
You gave me herpes.
Of the neck.
And vampirism. I'm more mad about the herpes.
Right.
But also, like, there's, like, vampire animals, like Bunnicula, the vampire bunny.
Oh,
and, you know, like, all kinds of vampire dogs and whatnot. So, like...
It's so weird when they do that stuff to animals.
Yeah. Like, Dracula, you're a sick fuck.
It's like, oh, man, I didn't eat all of my dinner, and it turned alive and ran away.
So next, maybe talk about Frankenstein a little
Yeah, like
bit,
Frankenstein's monster,
yeah, like
Frankenstein. Though it could be argued that Frankenstein the doctor is more of a monster.
Don't call me Frankenstein.
Yes,
Frankenstein. But, yeah, no, he's the real sick fuck.
He brought life to a monstrosity that is now going to have to bear this world of hate.
He fucked up in two ways, because he had a good idea, because, you know, he wants to be able to bring people back or whatever. But first of all, you're going and you're making a body out of dead people.
Yeah, you're like robbing graves and sewing parts together like that's how it works.
Where you fucked up is you had Igor go get you a brain. You want a good brain, you go get your own damn good brain.
He made those mistakes when he was younger. He was much more refined in his older age.
So you fucked up, and you put...
That was straight up Young Frankenstein. That had nothing to do...
You put a bad brain...
It's not the original story of Frankenstein.
I think it is, though.
No, it's not.
He gave
Happy normal.
He gave Frankenstein a fucked up brain, and that's why he's all fucked up. It wasn't the right one.
It's a different movie. But still...
Semantics. I think that's really how it went
That's
down.
all MOPO.
Right, that's MOPO. But, I'm sorry I got my history of Frankenstein from Mel Brooks. That's not my fault.
As long as you didn't get the history of the world from him.
That too. But, no, but Frankenstein's is big. It's so, like, Frankenstein's like the funniest one to me. They're all pretty funny to me.
You put a Jason mask on Frankenstein, and he's basically Jason.
Yeah, he's the original Jason, but he's scared of fire like a little bitch, though. Like, you light up your cigarette.
Almost like he's the most jacked diesel cave person.
He is.
He's so primitive.
No fire. Like, you light up your stove trying
you light up a lighter next to a baby. I mean, don't get too close to the baby, but the baby's not like... The baby's just kind of like, ooh, pretty. Yeah, you don't want to touch it. No, dumb baby.
So yeah, but like Frankenstein is pretty cool. He's definitely a diesel motherfucker, choke slam you.
Oh yeah,
or whatever. But he was never real scary.
Yeah, he was more just like crush and mangle. He was like a undead Lenny.
Yeah, like
like very clumsy, very curious. But
I think there's two different versions of like the Frankenstein story where he meets the little girl.
Yeah,
and in one he like kills her accidentally, and then the other one he's like, oh, they're friends or whatever.
I don't know.
Like, honestly, which is more realistic, though?
That he kills her?
That he crushed that little girl and throw her in the river.
Probably. I think that's the original.
Yeah, I think that's actually what happened.
Because I think it's like all the spoofs that...
But then they remake it as, oh, friend.
Yeah, no.
But,
Frankenstein, you soft.
He's a bitch. Probably third on, if I were going to make a list, it'd probably be Wolfman.
Yeah. Yeah, he is pretty vicious.
I really like the remake with Benicio del Toro. Benicio.
Yeah, is that the American Werewolf?
No, it's called Wolfman.
Oh, it's just called Wolfman.
Yeah, it's all a few years ago now. Like, I couldn't tell you the actual, maybe 2010, 2011, maybe. So but that was really well done. But, yeah, man, like, who doesn't love the story of Wolfman? You get bit by a wolf. Did he turn into a wolf?
It's kind of the same idea as Dracula. Like, if he doesn't finish his meal, you're probably coming back as a wolf man.
He got rabies, and he turned into a wolf.
Yeah, right?
So that was the real wolf man. Like, somebody just had rabies. And they turned it into this big, whole elaborate, like, story about full moons and shit. So he's just basically a big dog, I guess.
I mean, it's just scary because it's the whole, like... a vicious animal coming after you.
And, like, you losing control of yourself. Like, you have no...
It's, the maddening side of it.
Yeah, you don't want to do... Like, and then you wake up the next day with, like, your dead girlfriend next to you with her throat ripped out. Or whatever. It's just, I didn't want... I mean, I thought about doing that for a while, but I didn't actually want to do it. I didn't actually want to do it.
Maybe you didn't turn into a wolf.
So yeah, I guess you
got the next the Mummy,
which
is kind of like I never really thought of the Mummy. Like, the Mummy would always strangle people too, but they're always catching people so off guard.
Yeah.
Like they gotta be, I just drank like a bottle of NyQuil, and I'm
so drunk.
It's like,
no, I'm not scared of no mummies.
And it's more like the wrap gets tied around the guy's neck by mistake, and the Mummy's just trying to like walk out the door.
My scarf isn't tight enough. But the Mummy's a bitch too.
The Mummy's curse is always what was the real.
Yeah, that's the real.
That was the real thing.
That motherfucker sends some locusts after your ass. They destroy your crops and shit.
Yeah,
like, you're fucked. But like, 101 Mummy, you better come at me strong, Mummy, because I might fuck you up. Like,
we're breaking those bones into dust.
Your dusty ass bones and shit. Like,
but I'm not messing with the curse.
We might get cursed right now fucking with it, talking shit about the mummy.
I mean,
right now.
I don't got any old relics lying around. I'm not breathing in any spores.
But, like, I was like, what mummy was he? Is he, like, a king? Like, was he King Tut? Is that the mummy?
Well, I think they only... I think they did that to everybody.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the real, like, the... Not all the mummies come back to life, like, but the mummy who actually came back to life and tried to kill the
I guess the mummy that actually came back to life would have to be one of the kings, because there's
was it
only
King,
one.
You don't know then. Like, was it King Tut or
I mean,
MOPO homework? Which king was it? Because I always thought it was like King Tut.
Is this King Tut for us, because that's the popular king that was discovered when we were growing up. But back when this was made, I don't think King Tut was even discovered.
They didn't discover that dude yet?
So it would probably be just a generic, king or pharaoh.
Well, okay. So I guess for me, the ugliest one would probably be the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's an ugly motherfucker.
Well, I mean, but that's like saying, oh, fishes ain't cute.
Yeah, they're not.
Well, I mean, it's like completely different.
Yeah, but he's a little bit more than a big ugly fish. Like, he got nasty teeth. He got like weird looking ears and like.
Because he's a
ugly
fish.
Motherfucker.
He's a fish.
But then how did he get legs and the arms?
I mean,
some people's fucking fish back in the day. And, like, he's like the Jason of the fish world, and he's trying to get revenge?
No, there was just, like, an old nuclear reactor near the water that he was... No, I'm just making this shit up.
I'm like, alright, you got me a little bit, but I'm already thinking of ways to, like, fuck with your theory.
No, because I was listening to this, where I was watching this video on a natural nuclear reactor in Central West Africa, and it's like...
Central West?
Well, it's like Central Africa, but on the West Coast.
Okay.
And I think it's called the Anoka reactor. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, these plutonium ore was just there, and it would just create, a nuclear reaction because there was this underground well water that would hit it and splash it, and do whatever it does to, make it react, but it wasn't harnessed, so it was just like kilotons of energy just floating out. But if he was near that groundwater,
that would make him sprout legs and arms.
I mean, okay, well, where we live, we got a river that I'm not going to mention, but it's jokes about three-eyed fish.
3 eyes is different than 2 arms.
Yeah, well, I actually always thought it was funny growing up. It's like when you see The Simpsons and the fish got 3 eyes. I'm like, ain't that shit normal for us?
Hey, what are they talking about?
So they just go fishing in our lake. I knew Springfield was closer to us, but I don't know. I'm just doing a theory.
Yeah. All right. So y'all tell us: is the creature from the Black Lagoon just an ugly motherfucker or a cute fish? MOPO.
Well, obviously he's not going to be a cute fish. But naturally made or some sort of horrible creation.
Moving on to somebody you can't even see is the Invisible Man.
That's probably the scariest.
That's the scary shit because, once again, he's a real dude.
He's a
not
real dude.
A monster. He's just a crazy, smart motherfucker who figured out how to turn himself invisible.
That's the only saving grace for why this wouldn't be incredibly scary, is because he's a really smart dude, so you hope he got some sense.
Oh, no, the smart people go crazy as fuck.
Oh, well, I was going to say, like, smart and mad is like a fine line, and then the mental distress you must be going through for not being to be seen by anyone
because
ever.
I think I don't remember.
That's got to drive you mad.
I think he fucks up and becomes permanently invisible. Like, at first he can, like, not necessarily control it, but he's not always invisible. But then, like, he either takes too much of his shit or something, and he's just straight up invisible. And then the horror more becomes on you if you're the Invisible Man. That kind of sucks a little bit, too. Like, you'd be able to watch any girl undress you ever wanted, but you wouldn't be able to fuck her.
Well, you could. You just have to somehow convince them that it's okay to talk to nothing.
I'm a ghost, and I want to hit that.
It's like, I'm Patrick Swayze, baby.
I'm going to hit you off some supernatural shit.
We'll go get Whoopi Goldberg and do some possession
and then
shit.
he, like, busts early or whatever. That was your fault.
That was just some ectoplasm. Give me 5 minutes and a sandwich.
So yeah, I guess we covered them pretty. Oh yeah,
well, Bride of Frankenstein.
Well, no, that's what I was gonna get. Save the ladies for last.
I thought ladies go first.
No, I forgot all about the Phantom of the Opera over there. Once again.
Yeah, we mentioned him earlier at the very beginning.
Ugly motherfucker.
Just an ugly dude.
But he got skills on the piano.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Remember?
The organ. What are you doing?
Yeah, he did that song too, or whatever. But he made skills. But that's just a case of a
like ladies,
a snotty ass bitch.
Ugly dudes need love too.
Right.
Otherwise, you creating serial killers out here.
Y'all
play your part. And take one for the team.
Because honestly, one of y'all gotta take one for the team. Not all of y'all are gonna find Prince Charming. Or whatever.
Oh, trust me, Prince Charming is...
and Prince Charming might wind up beating your ass anyway. And tying you up and, not in a sexy way.
Yeah, throwing you into a river after he's done, gutting you and stuff.
Right. Prince Charming.
Prince
So
Charming.
let's give some Phantom of the Operas a little bit of a chance. Maybe we won't have horror movies about it. Maybe be a porno about the Phantom of the Opera.
I'm sure they've done that.
Yeah, I think they had pornos back in the day. I don't know, the Universal porno lot? Universal Monster lot? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're doing that on the same lot.
No, they're side by side. So
it's like, you done, this shot in Dracula. Okay, go over to the porno lot while you're still in makeup and go pump out this scene, literally.
Right, literally. So then, I guess we'll finish off, represent the ladies of the Universal Monster.
The lady.
Well, there are other ladies.
There are other ladies, but this is the only one that we could really think of or know anything about.
Right, and that's the Bride of Frankenstein. Because, that big motherfucker, he needs something to get some release.
Oh, and nobody's just gonna have sex with,
not
a sewn-together dead guy.
Yeah, not even your most unscrupulous hoe would fuck that dude. So, they had to create another. So this motherfucker didn't learn his lesson the first time. Let me go get some more dead body bitches or whatever. Sew these bitches up together. But this time he said, alright, go get a prostitute brain. And he brought back a nun brain. No, I'm kidding.
What kind of brain you bring back? Nunya. Nunya business. Oh shit, it was actually a nun.
But, this bitch wakes up crazy or whatever. She don't like the situation, not one bit. She sees this dude and is like, I gotta fuck that? That's fucked up. And she goes on a real rampage herself. I don't know much about her story, but I like to imagine they meet up at the end, all live happy ever after, little baby dead Frankensteins, but they're stillborn and Dr. Frankenstein.
Jeez, he just paddles them back to life. Oh my god. Pretty sure that's not how the movie goes. But
that's how my movie would
imagine the mentality. Oh, I created this, this monster. Oh, I'll get you something like a little friend for you. It's like if he was a cat owner, he'd be the one who's like, oh, I got 17 cats because this cat was lonely and it needed a friend, and then they were isolating this cat, so then I had to get a cat for him to have a friend, and now I got all these cats.
Now I got the black cat gang. The only black cats fucking each other. Then I got all the gray tabbies over here. I can't get them to intermingle.
You running a prison of felines?
Oh man! But let us know what you think. Are there any Universal monsters you guys can think of that we didn't mention?
Do you like the ones we mentioned, or maybe you're a big fan of some of the more obscure ones we haven't mentioned?
I'm not no chick or nothing, but I know a lot of girls who still love Universal monsters. So it may be a date tip for you fellas out there if you can ever find it. You're trying to impress a girl, trying to get a girl scared.
Because they're scary, but just not scary enough?
I guess it's black and white. Maybe it's a hipster thing.
It's kind of, where are you getting your information?
But I'm just saying.
You're going to have to get Steve Harvey on this.
Girls I know like Universal monsters. Maybe not all of them, but it might be a good tip for y'all. Try it out. You'll have a happy Halloween.